God bless you. Today, we would like to bring awareness to a very serious issue. The scripture says, I wish above all that thou mayest prosper and be in health as your soul prospers. Today, we see that many are not prospering or not in health in their minds. We know that we have problems with our hearts. We know that we sometimes have problems with our pancreas and other members of our bodies, and we go to doctors to see about those members of our bodies and try to figure out what plan of action and how we might be able to come to health in our physical. We also have a brain, a mind that is a part of our body, and it needs health as well. So today we want to talk some and bring awareness to mental health. We want our minds to be well. We should serve God with our minds as well as our bodies. And our minds need health. They that are whole need not a physician. And we understand that we have physicians for our bodies. There's also physicians for our minds. Today, we have some people in the field that are going to speak to us to bring awareness of symptoms that you may become aware of in your own life or in the life of your relatives. If you see these symptoms, then that's a time when you might need to seek help. And we want you to know that there is spiritual help and there's also help in the professional world. And we support professional help. At this time, we have Nichelle Lemons, who's going to bring forth some symptoms and some things that you need to be aware of as pertaining to mental disorders and health, as well as we have our sister Aretha Hutchinson that's going to bring awareness to another area of mental health and symptoms. So at this time, without further ado, Nichelle Lemons.
Hello, I'm joined with my sister Aretha, and we just want to share some information on a few of the numerous mental health conditions that you or your family members may be facing. So we'll go over a few, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us, to your pastors, to your doctors, or anyone for additional information. One of the common mental health conditions that we see, especially in children, is anxiety, but it's very common also in adults. You may be overly nervous or extremely nervous in settings with triggers from your past, different things that you shy away from, or settings that are just extremely uncomfortable for you. Your reactions to things may be very heightened, and those are things that we want you to be aware of, that if you're struggling in those areas or if you're feeling very uncomfortable to the point where it interferes with your ability to sleep, interferes with your ability to maintain your normal daily functions, you may want to reach out to someone. There is help available. You can speak with your primary care physician, your children's pediatrician, for a referral to a professional who can just see. You may or may not receive an actual diagnosis, but you can receive help if medication is something that they want to look into with you, talk therapy. Those are just a few of the treatments that are available. Moving on to depression, which is very common in our society. And the thing about depression is that a lot of times it goes undiagnosed and untreated. And what we have found in mental health is that untreated conditions and untreated diagnoses usually don't get better. They become more severe and more persistent. And with depression, you may see a loss of interest in things that you used to like, just an overwhelming, persistent sadness. It may be seasonal. You may be fine in the summer, and as soon as the season starts to change, you just feel a slowness about yourself. Some days it may be extremely hard to get out of bed and just carry on your day-to-day functions. If you or your children or someone you know are experiencing these things, again, we encourage you to reach out to someone. There is help. And Aretha, I'll let you take it from here.
Wonderful. That was some wonderful information. And I just want to add, I would like to discuss grief and loss. So I want to just start by defining what loss is. Loss is losing something or someone, or losing a percentage of something. For instance, for a male, if they start to lose their hair, that's considered a loss as well. But what most people are familiar with is the loss of a loved one. And so grief is your response to that loss. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a situation. It could be a thing. For instance, during COVID, a lot of people lost jobs, they lost homes, they lost financial stability, and they lost loved ones. So grief is your response to that loss. A lot of people don't recognize that they're actually in the space of grief. So a way to recognize if you're in that season is how you normally would be changes. For instance, you like to hang out with people and you decide that you don't want to hang out with anybody. You want to isolate, or you have trouble sleeping, or you sleep too much. I'm somebody that likes to eat. So if I stop eating, then you would know something is wrong with me. Some people, they lose their appetite or they eat more. So those are some of the signs. Also, if you're working and you notice that you're having trouble with your memory or you're having trouble focusing on your task, that can let you know that something is going on as well. Your normal personality, say you're a very soft-spoken person and you start to become very irritable or angry in situations that you normally wouldn't, react that way. That's a sign that something's going on with you as well. What I would like to say is that this is a natural and normal process for human beings. And if you feel like you can't continue with your daily activities in a normal way, you need to reach out. Most of the time, you will feel like you want to be alone and isolate. And that's not the best thing for you, because you'll get in a hole and you just get deeper and deeper and lead to some of those things that my sister was speaking about, such as anxiety and depression. So now that you know this, what do you do next? You need to reach out to someone that you can talk to. And you may think it be your relative or a good friend, but this is how you know if this is the person that you need to talk to about the situation. Some of the things that they should not be telling you is you should not cry. You should not express your emotions. You need to be alone. It takes some time. In the beginning of the process, that's not the information you need to hear. So then you need to know, I need to find somebody that can listen to me. And the thing that you're looking to hear from them is, how can I help you? What do you need from me right now? That's the person that you need to reach out to explain what you're going through. And if both of you feel like, okay, I need more than just someone to talk to, then you can look out to try to get that professional help that my sister was speaking about. So that's just a little awareness information for you.
So now we have some awareness. Now we have some knowledge of symptoms. And what we need to do now is, if you notice these things within yourself or in a family member, let's remove the stigma of mental health or mental illness and we should seek the help that we need. We should not feel ashamed. Just like we don't feel ashamed of high blood pressure or diabetes, we don't feel ashamed of having other physical ailments. Let's not be ashamed necessarily of a mental block or illness or disorder that we may be experiencing. Let's get the help that we need. If you have a need and you feel that you need some additional resources, contact us at 404-292-0470. There are resources available. The number is 404-292-0470. Reach out, get the help that you need. They that are whole need not a physician. And we wish that thou mayest prosper, be in health as your soul prospers, which includes not only your physical, but also the mind. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you.